Erica Natividad at Metro Hall. This used to be one of several locations that was opened up as an emergency cooling center in times of extreme heat. But as temperatures soar across the city, the Toronto Public Health Department is saying these emergency cooling centers are no longer, and they're taking a different approach instead.
So this year, the city has decided to expand its heat relief network. So this involves 270 sites across the city.
The sites range from libraries to community centers and even malls. The public health website contains an interactive map so you can locate the closest cool space in your neighborhood. Why not offer the cooling centers anymore?
Well, the cooling centers, it was a very limited service, so it would only be open during a time of a heat alert. So it's also only at 7 locations versus 270 across the city. So the places that were cooling centers in the past, they will still be included as part of the heat relief network during normal business hours. As well, for people who are experiencing homelessness, we're also going to be expanding outreach services.
But some advocates argue the cancellation of emergency cooling centers leaves the most vulnerable out in the scorching heat. Though Kira Heineck with the Toronto Alliance to End Homelessness says that's not entirely true. Will it have an impact on those experiencing homelessness?
Not as much as you would think. Over the last 4 or 5 years when the cooling centers were in place, very few people experiencing homeless actually used them. The majority of people that did use them were people that are housed without air conditioning. And even then, my understanding is that very few people overall use the cooling centers, which is why they tried a different approach this year.
Heineck says those who are homeless will end up going to the places they're already familiar with, shelters, drop-ins, and respite centers, which are included in the many sites that are part of the heat relief network.
This particular initiative of the cooling centers really never worked or was never really a service for people experiencing homelessness. Moments like this, when our attention is drawn to people who are living outside, that we need as a city, beyond a cooling site or a warming site in the winter, to keep working on providing more sustainable, affordable, deeply affordable housing so more people can find permanent homes off the street.
In Toronto, Erica Natividad, City News.